My dearest Catherine, um, from miles away, with oceans between us, I must inform you that the cost of home ownership continues at an alarming rate. But I'm still having fun, I think. My latest victory is I installed a dishwasher, which doesn't sound like it should be difficult, but there used to be a cabinet there. So, like, I had to rip out the cabinet. And I'm kind of proud of myself because I installed what? That little wall right there. That's like the old cabinet. I put that back in. The only thing that doesn't work is the water. There's no hot water. So I can't actually test that it works. But it's been a lot of fun. I have burned through an alarming amount of money in the process of trying to buy all the things that you need to have in a house, including, insulation and a chimney that's not gonna blow up. Oh my gosh. So Home Slice was like, they were like, okay, it's $100 to clean your HVAC system, and they'll clean all your ducts, great. And another $50 to inspect the chimney. And I was like, well, I just bought a new house, I should inspect the chimney, so cool. They show up, I let them in, and I was like, yeah, just do the work, do whatever you need to do. I'm just gonna be working on my real job work stuff. Home Slice walks up to me, he's like, so Jay, I need to show you something. And I'm like, oh no. Nothing good ever came of the phrase, I need to show you something. Nothing ever. So he's like, so when was the last time your HVAC was cleaned? And I said, well, I think the seller said they were gonna clean it, but I just wanted to be sure. So I don't know, it should have been cleaned. He said, well, there's a dead mouse in your HVAC. And it's decomposing, and so it's like spewing bacteria and whatever all through your vents. I was like, okay, that checks. I've been coughing. It's been kind of gross. Cool. Fine. Let's get rid of the mouse. Call it good? He says, no. Here, I need to show you something else. I'm like, bro, I don't need you to show me anything. He's like, yeah, do you see how there's like a mold growing in your ducts? I'm like, man, come on. He's like, yeah, I can take care of that for you while I'm here. I'm like, okay, cool, how much is that gonna run me? He's like, $600. I'm like, okay, $600, take care of it. He's like, or I can install a UV light and you'll never have this problem again. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't place a price on health. Obviously you can, it's the cost of a UV light, which was like $600 again. Okay, fine, whatever, dude, do your thing. And he's like, okay, cool, I'll take care of that right now. It's like, thank you, sir. I go back to work. He comes back to me and is like, so bro, I need to show you something. I'm like, what now? He's like, hey, so the chimney inspection, I was on top of your roof. Here, do you recognize your yard? Because he took pictures from the roof. I'm like, why are you asking me if I recognize my yard? Sure, there's 2 trees and a post. Yep, looks like my house. He's like, yeah. So here's your yard and here's your chimney. And he proceeds to show me a picture of my chimney, which has creosote. That was probably like 4 inches thick. And he's like, yeah, it looks like this hasn't been cleaned in like 20 years. I said, well, that checks because the owners of the house owned the house for 20 years. He says, yeah, that's a fire hazard. I said, okay, cool. And he said, but let me show you something else. I'm like, bruh, if you don't stop with this, show me something else. He's like, yeah. So see these cracks in your lining of your chimney? I'm not saying that it could start a fire in your roof, but there shouldn't be cracks in your chimney. Like, great. What's my number? He says, $3,000. Okay. We started at $200, jumped up to $1,200, and now we're at like what, 4 something? He's like, yeah. But also you need a damper cap. Damper cap. Like, what's a damper cap? He says, well, it's a cap that you can use to close your chimney so rodents don't come into your chimney. And I says, well, it's funny you should mention because last night I thought I heard rodents running around in the walls of my house. He's like, yeah, they'll do that because they're getting in through the chimney. I'm like, okay. For the sake of conversation, what's this damper cap gonna cost me? He's like, I can get it to you in like 2 to 7 days for $2,000. $6,000, cat. $6,000 from an inspection and a flue cleaning that was just gonna be $200. I'm like, look, I can't be mad. I know this is how the game works. I know their goal is to come through your door, this super low price, and sell you something absurd, like the guy who did my what's it called? I'm burning all food. The guy who did my home efficiency inspection. Look what I'm making. Very exciting. He's like, yeah, we'll do it for, usually costs $300, but you are an XL customer, so you get a rebate for $120. So we'll give it to you for $170. Like, that sounds great. What more could I ask for? So Home Slice shows up. He's like, so Jay, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. And I was about to say, sir, I'm not gonna lie, I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's just, it'll probably be in one ear out the other. But he's like, okay, so I'm gonna hook up a vacuum cleaner to your door. And then when I run the vacuum cleaner, it's gonna pull in cold air from all of the gaps you have in your house. I'm like, thank you, that sounds rude. And then I'm gonna run around with a thermal camera and take pictures of all of the places that you have problems. Cool, man, go forth, do great things. He's like, Jay, I need to show you something. Motherfucker, if you don't stop. He's like, Jay, you have no insulation anywhere. Anywhere. No wall insulation in the basement, no wall insulation in the in the ground floor, and your ceiling. Oh, your ceiling has less than 6 inches of insulation. I said, fuck me sideways. That sounds terrible. He says, yes, it is. Let me tell you how much it'll cost to fix it. $4,000. I'm like, sir. Anyway, so that I can do on my own. I can insulate my own goddamn basement and attic, and that's terribly disgusting, but that's what I've been working on. So, yeah. Hope your home ownership journeys are going better than mine are, because let me tell you, I burned through $20,000 in 3 weeks. I did buy this really cool shirt, though. Look at this shirt. This shirt is so pretty. Look at it. I'm so pretty in it. It's my consolation for having to crawl around in my attic. I think I deserve this. Let me have this. Do not judge me. I missed your face. We should have brunch. Goodbye.